So Ms. Misery calls me in, and she says, "Oh, Nora, so here's what you can do." I said, I tell you, it's just been amazing. I mean, you have PCs, I have a Mac. Even the PC my husband has doesn't have the right for it. I haven't been, and she said, "Don't worry about it. Just write a little marker." I said, "What do you mean?" She said, just write a general thing for whoever's left." "I can do that?" She said, "Of course, go right ahead." I said, "But I thought, Ms. Appleson told me that if I did that, some kids are cousins of other cousins. They say, hey, how come you got just the general one?" Just don't worry about it. I'll take care of all that. Smile. Fuck, I just spent an entire week killing myself trying to do something that's totally impossible. So I sent a letter to my mentor. I said, "Dear Ms. Appleson, here's the thing. If I were a crying person, I would be weeping. And if I were a quitting person, I would have been gone a long time ago." I said, "But I'm not either one, but I will be a broken woman if we don't figure this out." So they decided that the way to figure it out was to make Ms. Misery my personal mentor. So see, that's much better. I'm already better. I felt so much better already. Anyway. So this is really a saga. This section is just really a saga, an epic story of an artist trying to do good work in the world and make a living. This is just one little piece of it. So in epic form, you're allowed to sort of start media res. You sort of start in the middle of something. So let's just hop over to my final year review, which is in March, so that they can make you do better or whatever it is that they do. So I get my final review. And I'm asked to come into a meeting. And there's Ms. Misery, and she has Ms. Featherloss right next to her right-hand lady. And we used to call Ms. Featherloss and Ms. Desert and Ms. Appleson were the las tres orejas, the 3 ears. Because anything that you said that was even vaguely negative, it didn't even have to be about anyone if you were just being negative. It was immediately reported to Ms. Misery, who would then either drop an email into your email, about how don't be negative, or other things. It was really creepy. So they're sitting there, and she said, "So, Ms. Dooley, how is it going?" And I said, "Well, I just always think I'm getting a hold of this thing, And I said, I worked all through February vacation. I really felt I made some progress, and now we've got this MCAS prep thing that I'm doing, and it's just really consuming me." She said, "Oh, really? Well, why is that?" I said, "Well, there's MCAS is multiple choice. There's not a lot of multiple choice in my field, performing arts." And she said, "Really?" I said, "Well, and I wrote all these lesson plans and things, and I really wanted to connect them to the humanities, the things that people were doing." And she said, "Oh, Miss Dooley, if I tried to follow every good brainstorm that everyone had, I'd be dead." I said, "Oh." I said, "Oh, wait, time out, just a moment." I said, "Just a second on that one." Because I said, I was not following any brainstorms. I was given at a professional development workshop a stack of MCAS tests and a stack of data, the tests that our students took, and I was asked to find out why it was I was to analyze these to make a data-driven decision. I was to analyze this stack and find out why it was when the students were reading a script format reading, something that was written like a play, they were unable to answer factual questions in a multiple choice test. And I was to create a mini unit, 3 lessons, that would address the skills that they would need to be able to do this. That's not a brainstorm, that's an order, it's a deliverable. You need 12 lesson plans, one for 5th grade, 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade, times 3, and it has to be done by X o'clock. I said, that's not a brainstorm. Of course, I didn't say it like that, because I was really, uncharacteristic for me, I was very, whatever you say. And in fact, I said, if you guys talk, I'll do whatever you tell, I do what I'm told. Misery. And if you told me to wear my underwear on my head, I'd say, inside out, label on the front, what do you want? Whatever it was, I would do what they told me to do. She said, well, here's your review. So we just kind of oh, look at the timer, here's your review. So I looked at it, and I was not expecting a glowing review. Not at all. But there were two things in it that just really stuck in my craw. One of them, and I picked it up right away, it's like, oh, Miss Dooley does not respect students. Can you explain that to me just a little bit? Because I love these students. I'd walk through fire for these students. What do you mean by that? Oh, she said, yes, for that. I can give you a very good example. When I was observing you, okay, now she's sitting like where you're sitting, okay, and student, I'll call him Manny, is sitting right here, okay? When I was observing you chided Manny for not being on task, and he was. I said, oh yeah, now wait a minute, I remember that. I said, well, you mean the time when I went over to him and I said, everybody clear your desks and take up the script, we were writing a play, and put in the revisions that you just thought about as you had a group meeting reading this play together. I want you all to write in at least 5 revisions in this play, and then you'll be done. It's individual work time. Clear your desk, nothing but your script and your pencil on the desk. And he had 4 graphic novels in front of him. And he also was a student who had been taken out of the class many times because he had an IEP and blah, blah. So he hadn't done any writing, and he was going to flunk the class. I mean, when you're accountable in this way, you have to write down all these grades and this and that, and you have to know, I mean, this is serious, right? So so I go over to him and I go, yo, Manny, you know, I write for a living and I don't even like rewriting. So I get where you're at, but if I had these cool graphic novels here, it would be really hard, it would be very distracting. So I'm just going to stack them up over here, and you get to work. So you see how that's really disrespectful, right? No, I didn't either, right? So I said, so that thing that I did? She said, yes. I said, really? She said, well, yes, because I'll explain it to you. First of all, he was writing. Which is amazing. I didn't know she could see through things. Because she was sitting all the way back there. He was sitting here. How could she see he was writing? But she could see. He was writing, and I spoke to him from my height. P.S. Ms. Misery? Not very. And I didn't modulate my voice so that only he could hear me. So that showed my basic disrespect for his tender feelings. This kid was a great friend of mine, actually. I love this kid. Anyway, so that was that one. Okay, but then the next one that really, you know, beat my eggs, it really pissed me off, was, whereas Ms. Dooley has been very happy to reflect on her own practice in the beginning of the year, over the last few months, she has done nothing but complain about class size and room placement, room allotment. Ms. Dooley, perhaps, has found that teaching in a Title I under-resourced, underfunded school is not what she expected, and perhaps it's not for her. I thought, whoa! So after all I've done to survive this thing, I'm going to get a review like that says I'm a frickin' prima donna. I'm no prima donna. I am the stone soup queen. I know how to make something out of nothing. Italians say that anybody can make an omelet with eggs, but only a true genius can make an omelet with no eggs at all. Okay? That's what me, with a program, with kids, with theater, that's what I can do. What the hell was she talking about? Well, I won't go into the whole thing because, I mean, even this one year that I survived was a saga in and of itself. But let's just say, when they did the force play to get me to resign in May 16th, I walked out of there with this amazing feeling of like joy and lightness, even though I was going to take care of my mother who was dying of pancreatic cancer. And we were going to be doing hospice care in our 2-bedroom apartment with 5 souls living in it already. Yes, I don't do anything easy ever. So I walked out with that in front of me, and still, oh my God, I don't ever have to spend one more day in the gulag.